All right, boys. In today's video, I'll be ranking these units. I'll tell you why they're here. I already recorded this video. I already did. But my mic was set to this, so I sound like this the entire time, and I don't think you guys want that, so I'll be re-recording this. Also, the video was 25 minutes. I'll be making it shorter. Also, the entire time I was blowing my nose in that video while I was cutting it out, but you have me sniffling the entire time, so it's better for you this way, okay? So I've put on every unit on this list that I believe was viable, at least to an extent. Like I can see people running them in PvP, or at least they're like units that people talk about, and then some like little cooks of myself, and I cooked up some little things as well throughout the video, because right now we live in Millen's world. But I was like, dude, Heike, this king, I can see it. You go second, right? You run dodge food, you dodge whatever they throw at you first, and then you barely tank Milim AoE because of his shield. His shield's pretty fat, and then you it's your turn. You got the attack rate stats, and you can kind of retaliate. I think, maybe. And I was also cooking up a human team, but I've been cooking up that one like in my past few videos. I just haven't tried it yet. But it's Escanor, Arthur, Green Percival, and then Jenna backline. And Percival just soaks up all the AoE damage, fucking dies. She comes out. He gets infinite attack rate stats. You burn all the enemies for half the HP. Either that or it takes down Milim's thing. I actually don't know. It might do. I'm not too sure. Oh wait, no, this if you kill him, never mind. Yeah, you forget the burn part. But yeah, he gets an infinite attack rate stats. She will only have one stack, so you AoE, right? And then single target her and she's dead, right? Then some likes here because she protects from this thing happening because she has auto taunt. And she's very defensive, and the way she uses her cards works really well with Milim. Fraudulent's here because everything dies quick, so he's gonna be good by default, right? There's gonna be infinite teams that can abuse this guy. There's probably some like really hidden cooks with like some tanky teams. I also put Ella Lily on here because I think that she's there's a world where there's an OC team that no one's running that's pretty good with all the damage, because everyone has damage cap on the team, right? It's like Ragnarok the End. But you'd have her, you'd have like blue Roxy, like green Eastern backline, and then I'm not too sure what the third slot would be, right? The new Shin, right? Maybe in the future. Maybe I'm predicting something, but I can see that being really good against Milim, because damage cap against Milim is really good. Which is why this guy's here too. Now I was also talking about Rimuru. I know I'm going like through like left and right, but like you can look at the list and you can make sense of it. I'm going to talk about like everyone, but just randomly I'm going to look at people the way I think. Now Rimuru, there's one thing, okay? A GALAND this year, like half as a joke. I put him here as a half a joke. I was like joking, but I was like high key, yeah, maybe not. But when GALAND dropped GALAND, people immediately started downplaying him and calling him bad when he wasn't bad, or he was good. He just wasn't as like good as people wanted to be. And especially people that watch me, right? People were like, yeah, this is Sora's unit. Like, this is going to be, like, crazy. He's going to have so much fun. All these videos are going to be crazy. And he turned out to be, like, a very solid upgrade and really strong. But, like, not anything mind-blowing. But because he wasn't anything mind-blowing and he was just good, people immediately started calling him bad. And now people unironically think that he's bad. Which he's not. He's not good. He's not bad. He shits on bird floor 4. And until Milim, he was decent in PvP. So there's no, like, world in which he was bad. He just wasn't as insane and like fun and cool as we wanted to be. He still doesn't have a fucking relic. Okay, they forgot to give him a holy relic. So like when he gets that, then trust me guys, we'll be there. But I got this comment, and I was like, I can't let this happen to two of my favorite units. I can't have people like delude themselves into like overplaying it. Okay, let's as a community not use our opinions and try and create memes and jokes to downplay a unit. And let's be real and fairly evaluate a unit, okay? Because I don't want to have comments like this anymore, okay? Stop defending him. Rimuru is a certified fraud. Rimuru is good. His own DPS is good. He infects. He still buff strips. He has insane stats. He can withstand most attacks. His ultimate is insane. And again, he can put up really good numbers on a single target, even on his AoE. And he's really good no matter what now. And he has good CC. Let's not overplay him. He's good. He's not what we wanted. We wanted him to be as insane as he was on release. He's not bad at all right now. Okay? Let's not do the same thing with GALAND, where we overplay how bad he is, okay? And then we actually believe that he's bad. Because he's not. Ella King doesn't have an LR on this tier list. I was like, okay, well, unless It doesn't. So I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna put the SR version here. This is the LR, right? Definitely viable. You can definitely run them, but viable for me means you play your ungeared matches, right? And you play 10 matches, and you know, realistically half of them are bots, and you go out winning like 7 out of 10 of those matches, right? That's viable for me, right? You lose every now and then, that's fine, right? You go second against a Melon team and they have the perfect setup, you've lost, right? But every now and then you'll go first, all right? Most of the time, well, not most of the time, but like every now and then you'll go first, right? If you face the bot, higher chance that you go first, or you want to go second variant, and like that's viable for me, right? Like you can win, okay? You can win, and you probably will win a lot of times, but it's not a consistent like, oh yeah, this is your ticket to champ 1, okay? S, for the most part, is just really good to put on the team, but they don't make the team, or they don't change the way you play the team essentially, but they're just really good on the team, and you feel their presence, and you like clicking their cards, right? That's why. Don't count is like backline units essentially, only because I initially want to do like a number 10 ranking, like top 10 PvP units, but NANASHI would be number 2, and I don't think people would like that, and she would be number 3, okay? Because these two are as good as the best unknown unit, right? And NANASHI's better than Camilla. Camilla gives you 1% more damage. NANASHI gives you about 5 times as much stats. They're as good as the best unknown unit in the game. And unfortunately, the best unknown unit in the game right now gaps the entire game. So they're by default like up here, right? But I don't want to do that because that just looks bad. Right? Like we get it, everyone understands it, but we can also understand that I'm putting them here and it makes perfect sense. Okay, there's a world in which I can rank Chandler, and that world exists when he dropped, where we thought we would run him frontline with his stance and he'd be good, but unfortunately that's not the case. His stance, bro's still taking damage. So that, and then for the rest of the units, if I didn't rank them, I either forgot or I don't deem them worthy of being on that list, right? But for the most part, I feel like I have everyone that's relevant. I have. I'm not gonna like rank Queen Deanna or Blue Chandler, because Blue Chandler is dying to a goal through AoE, okay, which she doesn't even have in goal through AoE. This goal through single target, he's dying to that single target, so that's not overhyped Blue Chandler. Okay, I know there's some people out there. And I got to only put there because like last week I got a comment from someone that's never commented on my channel before, and he was telling me that it got us a shit on Milim, and I was like, this guy's crazy, and I just ignored the comment, and I just put them here just to show him that no they don't. And this guy too, because he's a fan favorite. And essentially this is just me pissing off fan favorites, right? Mel is like probably the most popular unit in Grand Cross. Anytime I do a Mel video, it does well because people just like him, which makes sense. He's really cool. The Grand Cross just doesn't think so, so then they go out of their way. They go out of their way to cuck Mel, even though he's I don't know. I don't know. Maybe anytime they like craft their goddess unit and they play test it, which I know I don't think they do either, but maybe they did for him specifically. They're like, wait, this is too good, so they couldn't give him anything. It is what it is. Okay, it is what it is. But he sucks ass. He sucks ass right now. You run him, you're trolling. But he's had his days. He was at least always viable, and now unfortunately his time has come to an end completely. Unless they give him some insane goddess that's better than him, which is hard because he's crazy. These are units are fun, right? You can run him on Milim's team, right? I wouldn't consider her fun personally, but I know a lot of people consider her fun. And she attacks heals, which is good against Milim. And Milim doesn't have a cleanse on her team typically. Well, they might have Gother or they might have Vittoria, but you know, a lot of people also are just running like the Raftalia Balder team, or they're running like a Thor subneck team. So it's like there's a chance that she like just works and actually got cucks the enemy. Hell is good because of so many AoEs going around, people dying. She gets her revives quick, and then the AoE stuff, her pain stacks tick to enemies pretty quick. Her AoE debuff for crit stuff is also good, so that's why she's here. This guy sucks up damage. Gelda is not up here because she builds up, and that's not that good because building up kind of sucks ass. But she's like top of this, okay? I can put her bottom of this. I can put her bottom of this if that makes people happier. Because if you're running with like Red Esteros and Demiurge, she does build up fairly quick on the turn 1. But she's like the extra stuff, like the extra damage reduction, the extra 10% HP every turn, that takes turns. And by then Milim already killed your entire team. So it's like, you know, yeah, not that good. And Milim also shits on Gelda completely, so it's, I don't want to put it, I'm not gonna put it there, okay? Demiurge was really broken and still is really broken. His whole thing was though, the other best 2 teams in the game were single target focused for the most part. right? Especially this guy was like the best unit in the game. So him doing single targets, he couldn't target him, and that was really good. And then other units like Thor was single target based too. Like a lot of stuff just couldn't target him, right? And he was immune to the meta. But now the best unit in the game doesn't care about single targets, and she just hits everyone and one shots everyone. So he went down in value. Red SOS is crazy. Demon team, if you go against Meli, you can one shot her very easily, very easily, unless they have a sub neck, which is why she's here. Golther, obviously, yeah, Golther sub neck Meli is the best like unknown core right now, I'd say. Spartan's good. There's definitely some cooks like some like weird units that people can do where they get some like insane old setup and then they win, right? But for the most part you just do it on like DPS unit, break Millim's like stuff, and then ult, right? So he's gonna be, I can't put him up there. I'll put him here right now. He's definitely good. He's definitely good. Albedo's viable. She doesn't do much. She still takes a lot of damage. She just dies to anything now. That's it really. Like she doesn't do much. But she has a taunt turn 1, which is good on Millim, because that protects her from Escanor, and then that makes it so she can't die from Escanor and from Esterosa, right? Actually, I will do it like this. Arthur's really good because Arthur, big HP pool, his AoE gives AoE damage reduction, or like, well, reduces AoE damage dealt by the enemy. And Millim doesn't, again, Millim can run cleansers, and she will every now and then, but when she doesn't, that card will actually affect her. And Arthur's team is really defensive, and he facilitates a team, right? SS is like, you're either really broken or you facilitate a team, and he facilitates a human team, right? You build around him, essentially. The only problem he has is that he's slow, and he's not slow in a good way slow, where you're like, oh, you build up by doing stuff, you build up by doing nothing, which is bad. So, you know, I also just like don't like this personal, this is subjective, but I don't like how Arthur essentially does this decision making for you. Like he tells you what to do on your team when you run him, which is kind of boring. But yeah, I think all of these guys, like Victoria still like proves herself to be just never aging apparently. Baldur just came back because of her. I do think people run the wrong setup though. Don't run Raptalia. Raptalia just gives you HP. She doesn't give you damage because you need to use a stance in that turn. And although that works, right? Like you go past your turn 1 and then it's your turn, you stance up and then you do stuff. For that turn where you actually like care about the Baldur having his like passive stance, she doesn't provide anything. Wherever I have to rank Raptalia. I didn't even rank Raptalia actually. Right? Like she doesn't provide anything. So I don't like her. And I think you should just run Hawk and Oslo frontline. And then you have 50% more defense and you have 15% still more max HP, which probably like equates to the HP gain you get from Raptalia. This is alphabetical, right? So here, there. Okay. I'll put her in S because I won't put her in. I'll put her in viable. I actually just do not like her, so yeah. Ein's also viable. Ein's is just like a unknown Bond essentially to me. So they both do similar things. They both demand a lot of cards to be used by them, but they both can do good stuff. Bond definitely less so. Bond's damage definitely fell off, and what he provides to the human team is good. But there's so many other options now, right? So he's fallen off by default. But I'd still consider him viable, right? Like if you're running a human team, if you have these two and you run him, like it's still gonna be good, right? If you have this guy, and this guy, and Jenna backline, it's still gonna be a decent team, right? So I can't call him like fun or bad. He's still viable. Relane, biggest damage champion in the entire game. This is LR King, right? Fairies are good enough. This guy unfortunately just gets worse. Like he was already bad on release and overhyped. Well, not really. I think we overhyped him before we used him. But I think anyone that used him for like more than 5 matches probably like realize this guy's useless, because this guy like dies mad easily, and he has a revive, big whoop, just to die again. He doesn't really protect the team because Millim wants the team. He can't heal you when you're dead, whereas this guy, he soaks up the damage, so he actually does something against Millim. So that's good. Thor, unfortunately, I want to put up here because like there's no way she fell off, but at the same time I think if I was a fresh person playing the game I just started and I'll be looking at the PvP meta like fresh from just now, not knowing what Thor was prior to this, I'll probably put like Thor in here because she can cook every other team essentially. But against Millim she just sucks, and on the Millim team she doesn't do much because like what, you're gonna use like her 2 cards, not get her fully built up, and then one shot with Millim, then what did she do? So you know, And I don't know. It feels so bad putting her here, but I feel like unfortunately she is just here. So yeah, Demon King damage cap's really good against Milim. Demon King legit is good against Milim. Like unironically, it's good against Milim. So I have to put him in S. Tier, same thing, is a good option on the team. It's fun, has taunt, so he protects you from Escanor. And yeah, I mean, just overall good unit. Nabral, great damage amp, is unknown and has good CC technically if you invest into her, which not a lot of people will have, rarely anyone, but if you do, then there you go. Eden is fun, right? It's just like damage. Baymar is a fun unit right now. This guy I probably have to put in bad, actually. I can't even put in fun. Yeah, let's put these next to each other. But yeah, I think this is my list, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I still managed to squeeze out 16 minutes somehow. But yeah, good job. Let me know what you think.